episode 31 of the Utility Players podcast, and we are a full unit this episode. He is back. We are back. Yeah. Welcome back, Ben.
Boy.
Fort Gravy.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yo.
It's great to be back. It's only been 2 weeks, but it feels like it's been a long time.
It was like 2 months.
2 weeks have been the longest 2 weeks of my life.
Sure.
But it's good to be back. I'm excited to see all of your beautiful faces. Nick, I saw him, what was it, last week, and you had 50% less facial hair than you do now. So
comes back quick.
If you see me, I've been growing stuff in. Ian's been making me grow it in, and then every time I go in, he's like, let me try to fix this. Let me keep this clean for you. And he was like, man, he's telling me, he's like, I know you get excited and you're like, it's not growing in how I want, so you shave it all. He's like, but every week you come in here, I'm just gonna keep trimming away at it, and we're just gonna keep that thing growing. So
do it.
Attaboy.
Beer gang.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot more grays over the last, definitely in your near future. I'm sure you've gotten more grays over the last week with the new baby girl.
Yeah. I mean, Nick's seen me in person and he knows how gray I am already. I'm pretty silverback gorilla. I cascade from brown, light brown, all the way halfway here to silver, all the way down. The back of my head in the summertime between 81 and 90 degrees glistens.
I was going to say, if you get a fade, does your fade like naturally go from gray and then into your natural hair color?
Yep.
That looks pretty dope if you have it right.
What's funny about that, I think Nick remembers, but I let Ian, or I made Ian put like a design in the back of my head, like on the side of my head one time. And my hair is so gray and light there that you couldn't do it.
Barely even
you couldn't really see it. Yeah. And so he's like, wait, I got to go up higher to try to get where it starts to blend. And that way you can maybe see it there. But, sucks,
If Steve Kerr and that guy Taylor from American Idol with the gray hair had a baby, it would be bad.
Yeah.
I think I know one of the people you're talking about. Exactly.
Yeah.
He was like 35 years old and fully like gray.
With Paul Pierce's facial hair.
Paul Pierce's facial hair.
That's amazing.
Jesus.
So let's make up for lost time. Obviously, we got football here on Thursday with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Dallas Cowboys kicking us off. And then all of our teams play, obviously, week one. Do all of our teams play on Sunday?
Sunday night.
Yep.
Bears Rams.
Yeah.
Sunday. Okay, cool. That's amazing. I usually go out for it, and it's usually the first week. What do you guys have like a tradition? Week one, do you guys usually do with your teams?
Hopefully,
I just like to have as many TVs and computers in front of me as I can.
Yeah, I don't, but Sunday, I'm gonna be primed up and ready to go for it. Depending on how lit I get Saturday, but I'm still gonna do it on Sunday. And so, Nick, you better be. I mean, if you're not doing anything, my crib for Bears Rams, I'm pumped.
Oh, let's do it.
I'm pumped. Yes,
it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I think Giants play early, so I'll have some time to relax in between.
Fort, do you have any like the Iowans here? Do you have any blackout restrictions in Jacksonville not getting Miami, or how does that work there?
No, I mean I don't have cable. I just stream everything. But
okay.
I will be going to Packers Saints this weekend because it's in Jacksonville. So I gotta see Rodgers. Might be his last.
Were tickets good? What are tickets
they were
for
under $100.
Damn, that's super good. That's
I mean, it's up there in the top section, but like I don't even care. I doubt there's gonna be that many people there, to be honest, because it's like in Jacksonville, the side,
it's kind of not last minute, but in the last 2 weeks where preparation and stuff like that.
I think it's gonna be packed. It's a chance for people who normally don't get to see those teams.
There you go.
That's true.
Get to see those teams.
Yeah. That's true.
Very true.
I'd go to it.
I'm hyped though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
As soon as they said that it was in Jacksonville, I was like, all right, let me see when tickets are out. I copped. So
probably the only good part of Jacksonville, I'm sure Fort knows many, but at least you have everybody in Florida, if they wanted to go to that game, could travel and make an overnight. And then obviously you got 3 or 4 different states or many cities within an hour or two. So it can be like a nice little hub for teams, but obviously
it's close to Louisiana. At least it's a little farther from Wisconsin, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Packer fans are all over as
Yeah, I agree.
So let's talk week one.
Vomit. Oh, sorry.
What do we got? We got Giants, Broncos. Who do you got, Ben?
For what,
Bears.
Giants? Rams.
Bears, Rams,
Sunday
and then
night.
Dolphins are playing who?
New England.
New
England.
Division.
In New
Okay.
England, yeah. The Fighting Mac Joneses.
So how are we feeling about our teams? You guys can kick it off with that.
Hey,
I mean,
Everybody's 0-0, right? Everybody's gonna say, "I feel tremendous." Is that a thing?
it's going to be a typical Giants game for the Giants this week.
Don't tell me that.
These are the
what's a typical
mediocre
Giants
teams. All right, we're not a good team, but there are teams that we should beat. Like, we have the talent to beat, but we'll fuck around and
we play down to our
their
competition
level,
for sure.
And then at the end of the game, give them a chance to win, and they'll take it.
So why don't you think you guys are a good team?
I think I personally think we are.
I actually think your team is
Yeah.
decent. I think you got a good
this
solid
year,
team.
But I'm saying I don't want it to be a typical Giants football game. Like,
yeah,
it's a very important season, and I do think we're way better. Our defense is together again. So many more weapons on offense, as we've spoken about many times. But it's like, you got to take the next step. Like, these are the teams you got to beat. So let's go out and win a game 35-14.
Yeah.
Instead of, winning by 3 and staying 27th in the power rankings. So I'm just looking for the next step here.
For sure. Same.
What you got, Ben? Or you want me to go?
There you go. I'll clean house.
Week 1, man, at New England. I feel like we have to win that game. It should be a winnable game to a second year, even though it's in New England, but they got Mac Jones, rookie quarterback. Yeah, exactly.
Mac Jones.
So our defense is good. We should apply pressure, maybe get a few picks, but I mean, we should win that game. I hope we win that game because it's not going to be a good start to the season if we lose.
Dolphins defense fire.
They're good.
Fire.
Well, for my team, every year doesn't even matter what it is. If I know we're gonna suck, I live through the sexy Rexy days, the Kyle Orton days. Shout out Kyle Orton. All those days.
Archaea.
Sorry, my dog's barking. Damn it, Clyde! I lost my train of thought.
You're living through the sexy Rexy days.
Oh yeah, those days. Every Bear season's, it's like you get so hyped before it starts, and then the season starts and you're watching it, and then it just comes crashing down. Then you're like, fuck it, I'm done with this shit. Then the next year they make some moves, and I get excited again. This year, I tried to not do it last year, but this year, boys, I am more
It's a different
excited.
year.
This year, I am more excited than I think I've ever been for a Bears season. No doubt. I'm being humble. I have high expectations, but not too high. I'm hoping we can at least make the playoffs. If we make the playoffs, I will be the happiest guy in the world. I think our offensive line is going to struggle. It's not very good right now. Tevin Jackson's also not going to be playing, which hurts. I was hoping to see him for our draft pick. Obviously, the whole Andy Dalton, Justin Fields thing. I think Andy Dalton's gonna be there for the first couple of games, and then I don't know how well we're gonna do in those 2 games. The Rams game Sunday night's pretty tough. I don't know if we get a win there, but I think just one loss in those first 2, and maybe not playing to expert Red Rifle letter, they're gonna pull the trigger on Justin Fields, and I have high hopes and expectations. I drafted him in my fantasy league. I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. That's a spoiler for later. But get on the Justin Fields train, guys. You can't do anything but support your team. I am that guy. Nick knows. If you put me in a football pool, a pick'em pool where we're picking winners, I never go against my team. I always pick the Bears, even if we are 0-16 and know we're going to lose that 17th game. Picking them to win. I never pick against my team. 100% support all the time. Go Bears!
Well, I mean, I hate to say this because I never want to root against you, but The Giants do own the Bears' first-round pick this year, so I hope you guys fucking stink.
Yep, that's fine. And
I will be sitting there, very happy.
I take it.
Oh,
I do think we're
Bears.
gonna lose
Montgomery.
maybe on Sunday, but David,
How happy were you when you got him last night? Because you knew I was going to pick him next.
I knew you were. I screamed in my house.
In my
Vader
house.
didn't flinch.
In my house.
He hasn't left his house in like 2 weeks. He's like in my house. to
No.
clarify.
David Montgomery is the ultimate fantasy pick for Ben because he played for Iowa State and he plays for the Bears.
Yep, that's my guy right there.
So we all
had a career year last year. I'm looking for a career year out of him. He's gonna get
So-
25 touches a game.
He should
just
be
like
getting
all of
that.
our favorite teams, are we just like we're all excited about our teams until after week 1? Are we all excited about the fantasy teams that we drafted? I'm in 3, drafted 2 so far. Got the 3rd one on Wednesday. How many guys teams did you guys do this week?
Yeah, I got 4. So I'm
Wow.
already
Damn.
drafted. Zoe and I split a league. We always split a league with his friends in Orlando. It's called the Super Early League. So we drafted like 2 weeks after the draft. So we've had our team for a very long. Yeah, we've had our team for a very long time. The other 3 drafted within the last week. I feel great. Just traded Saquon today.
Yeah.
Who'd
you
you
heard
trade
that
for?
right.
Traded
seen it, but I
Saquon
forget.
and Devonta Smith for Joe Mixon and AJ Brown.
Solid
Okay.
trade.
So shout out to whoever tried to veto it.
This is
Obviously,
Mixon's
it ain't
last
gonna
year,
fucking
man.
happen.
Bro,
Yeah.
I give
his
Mixon
last
an
chance,
opportunity every
Yeah.
year.
Like,
and it's
bro,
just like,
I mean,
come
they
on,
have no
bro.
offensive line, so like I side with him a little bit, but
I do think it is. I do think he's gonna have a good year though.
he's got to stay healthy.
I hope so.
If he stays healthy, he'll have a good year.
Yeah.
But
And
when
if
he's
my
healthy,
mother had a mustache, she'd be my father. Same thing.
probably your uncle.
Mhm. But what about you, Fort?
So I'm in 3 leagues, 2 with Ray. I'm running 2 leagues. I don't know how I'm going to do that. This might be my one and only year doing commissioner.
That's why I said I'll help you out in the other one because
Yeah.
I got time more in the morning than
I
in the
appreciate
afternoons. Yeah.
But I feel pretty confident with my team. So hopefully I win at least one of them. If I get one of them, I'll be straight. But fantasy football, man, that's what I look forward to. I always tell myself I'm not going to do it. And then I end up like in 2 leagues. But me being a frustrated lifelong Dolphins fan, I get more excited for fantasy than the actual Dolphins season.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I'll be hyped for that. I just have Red Zone on the whole time. That's it.
Shout out Chris Hansen.
Shout
That's
out.
the GOAT,
Shout
man.
out.
Steve Hansen.
Uh,
Chris Hansen might be the TCAP guy.
Chris-
Chris
Hansen's
Hansen's the catch a predator guy.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was.
Scott
Yeah.
Hansen.
Dude's a
God
legend.
damn.
Scott Hansen.
Shout out Chris Hansen.
Shout out both of
Chris
them.
Hansen.
Hey, they both
That show
doing
was
well
fire
for the
back in the day.
community. They're both
Yeah.
doing well for
That
people's
show
I'm
was
like
lives.
Chris
hilarious.
Hansen.
Saving lives every Sunday and maybe Tuesday
Fucking
evening on ABC.
Hansen's great
Yo,
people.
those shows are so like that shit is so crazy. Like they catch them and they'll be like, "Nah, I don't know what you're talking about." It's like,
Yeah.
bro, we
Yeah.
got that shit right
We got-
here. Like,
we
what
got
do
the
you
transcripts.
mean? you
And
got
then
the
they do-
receipts
They
right.
do that. Get up from the stool, walk away backwards. Like no one's gonna get me.
Dude,
Shout
could you
out
imagine
YouTube.
like your family's just on TV scrolling one day and they
Right.
see you on that
Wonder what's
shit?
on tonight. Is that Eric?
Again?
That's
Come on,
the
you know
4th
his name's
episode this year.
Yeah. That show was crazy. I used to watch it all the time. I wonder if he still does that.
No, he doesn't. I think they
Yeah.
canceled it.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah.
He was in the news recently. I don't know
Yeah,
if
we
it
used
was
to
something.
follow it.
I've read something on him within the last year about because they were wondering, people, I think Twitter was wondering where he's went because whenever the other Hansen is trending when Red Zone, the other guy,
Yeah.
the other trends too. So it's always funny. You always see that once a year.
I
was
think
gonna
with
say
COVID. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out YouTube TV. I just got today. Thank you, Gravy.
Welcome aboard.
I'm trying to be a consultant to my friends and family about in New York Spectrum. It's a monopoly. Get out of that. Here, Xfinity. You're gonna save $100 by switching over to internet from somewhere else, and then YouTube TV or Hulu TV. Got it for my first. I'm on it now, and I'm loving it. Got the 3
You
TVs
like
in
it?
the back. Oh, I love it.
This man plug in
Yeah.
YouTube TV.
Yeah, of course. Hey,
nice.
dude.
Google.
We're
Man,
sponsored.
they were raping me for 2 to 3 years. So I got
Damn.
them back. No
Yeah.
more rape.
No more rape.
Yeah.
I've
rape is bad.
never. It's gonna be weird. I've never paid or had cable ever.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
neither
mean-
have I as an adult.
Yeah,
I had it.
I've-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had it growing up, but like when I went to school and after I graduated, I've never had it. You know,
Yeah, when I lived by
Actually,
mostly
myself
because I
in
couldn't fucking
Florida.
afford it.
I did have it
No.
in Florida for a little bit with shout out to Django Beats.
Django Beats. I had it when I lived by myself for a couple of years for like, I think in the condo building, it was like, $90, which, I got
Yeah.
everything with that DVR, the whole setup, but that was through like the package deal that the condo had. And then
Yeah.
living in a house where you got 2 cable boxes, internet, you're almost accustomed to paying a certain amount, I guess. So it doesn't phase
Right.
you. Like, oh, I'm paying $100.
They know that too, and
Of
that's why they get
course.
away with like charging you like, oh, now I'm gonna charge
Yeah.
you $250.
All these hidden
know?
fees.
100%.
Like I go home and visit my dad, and he's still rocking with old cable. And I'm
Yep,
like, how
my
much you
parents
paying?
did.
How much is your bill? And then it's always that. Oh, I think I'm at 280. I'm like $280 fucking dollars. What?
Right.
That's
Holy
literally
shit.
what my parents pay. And I was
Holy
just paying
shit.
222 for a long time. I was paying like 202, and then they try to swindle me. And that was the last straw last week when I hit you guys up. It went up to 250 something, and then I got it down to 222, and I signed the contract, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. And then that's
Yeah,
when I
get
hit them
me
up.
outta
So
here.
if you
Yeah.
listen to this podcast, want to switch over, save yourself $100, I'll help you. I got you for free.
Do
Just
it.
listen to the podcast, support.
You
Sorry for the
will.
little YouTube plug, but wanted to,
Hey, no, yeah. We're on
saving money.
YouTube.
We're all trying to save money
Yeah.
nowadays. So information is
Maybe
power,
maybe YouTube can clip that and put it in one of their ads for a different commercial. Speaking of,
right?
I've been trying to get my daughter to sleep, so
Speaking
and-
of, I love
and
the
so
transition.
I'll go to YouTube and I'll play like water running videos,
Mhm.
to have that noise, and it actually works.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I have
that does
YouTube
work.
with ads, and so it'll just be
Oh, my
playing like
goodness.
calming water music, and then all of a sudden it'll cut to an insurance commercial for like 30
yeah.
seconds.
Oh my god.
I did just do a free
Save a bundle.
a free trial. I think free trial of YouTube Premium, just so I can exit out of YouTube and listen to the Pat McAfee show
Yeah,
like in the background. But I'll probably cancel it because it's not
Yeah.
important in life.
They don't have I think they have a premium TV bundle. They might do like when you have
That's
YouTube
just
TV.
for like YouTube, and YouTube TV will be separate.
Gotcha.
I think it's
Okay.
like $18.99 to have YouTube Premium that eliminates commercials, and
Yeah, that's a lot.
you can play it in the
$18.99.
background. Yeah, like absolutely not.
Yeah, that's a lot. Let's see.
Get to these
And then
predictions.
yeah, I was gonna we'll go into NFL predictions because it was and then after that we'll just talk because I know you
This
guys are big
man's
into
bad.
college football and I'm not,
Yeah.
but I wanted you guys to talk about it. So lead off
Yep.
with predictions, set it up for us for the listeners that we could go into.
All right, so we got our NFL season predictions. So you will be able to watch this back in 7 months when we're most likely wrong. I don't know. Is it 7 months? No, it's more like 4 or 5.
Huh.
yeah, it's shorter than that.
Yeah, it's shorter.
You
Yeah.
can-
It's about
Normal
5.
sports are
February.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 5.
February, so
Yeah.
About 5. Yeah.
So we'll list off our divisional winners, the 3 wild card spots. We'll be making our Super Bowl predictions, our MVP prediction, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, and defensive player of the year. So who would like to go first?
Ford or Ben, please.
I got
everything except the
I said
rookies.
Ford or Ben.
We're going by age. Therefore, Ben, you will be going first.
That's bullshit. Right there.
You want me to go first? I'll go first.
No, I'll go first. I don't give a shit.
Fort, you better
All right.
find 2 damn rookies by the time you're up.
All right. I'm gonna start with the AFC first. I'm just gonna name the winners, okay? And I'll just start with the division. So I'll go AFC East first. I think this is a lock. I think the Bills have it. Without a doubt. I don't think anybody can challenge them in that one. AFC North, Ravens. I'm picking the Ravens. I know people are all over the Browns and everything, but I think the Ravens are back, and I think Lamar Jackson's gonna have another good year. So Ravens, AFC South, Titans. And then the West, got to go with the Chiefs still. I don't see anybody that can overtake them. NFC East, boys, I thought about this long and hard. That division is hard to pick besides one team,
It
the
is.
Eagles, who are just trash. But I think you kind of alluded to a little bit earlier when I think some of you on here were talking negative about your team. But I think the Giants do have a really good team. And I think they have a sleeper team. And I think they take that division narrowly over the football team. I'm going to save the NFC North for last. NFC South, easy, Tampa Bay. I think that division is just, that's a runaway there. And then the NFC West, that's another tough one. There's a lot of good teams there, but I think the Rams are going to return to a championship level. We'll get to that. And I think they win that division. And then the NFC North, tough pick. I know everybody's riding Green Bay's dick, but I got to stay with my homeboys, and I'm going with the Bears, baby. The Bears. I want to be able to tell my daughter 20 years from now that I predicted the Bears were going to win the division this year, and I can play it back to her on YouTube the year she was born. So the Bears.
I was going to say you have 20 years to get it right, but
yeah.
All right.
Well,
I get
okay. Then we'll go for the wild card. Wild card teams. I put 3 for the NFC. I picked the football team, the Packers, and then the 49ers to get in for the 3 wild card. AFC, Browns, Raiders, and Colts as wild card teams. I think the Raiders are slept on. Super Bowl. Hey.
I'm sorry. I was laughing at Fort Space. Sorry.
Yeah. He's laughing at my pick. The Super Bowl. I know people are like, is it going to be a repeat of Tampa Bay? Is it going to be Tampa Bay, KC again? I think neither of them go back to the Super Bowl. I think the Buffalo Bills are coming out of the AFC. I think Josh Allen is going to light it up this year with that team, and they're going to play the Rams in the Super Bowl. And the fighting Matt Staffords. Watch out for Matt Stafford this year. He could have an MVP-like year. And I think the Bills win the Super Bowl this year. Only if Justin Fields doesn't play all 17 games, and the Bears win the Super Bowl. I'm just kidding, guys. Lighthearted comedy. All right.
Oh my gosh, man.
And then I'll just my awards. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think you know who I'm going to say. I don't even have to say it, but I'll just say it just for documentation purposes. But Justin Fields. Nice. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I know everybody's going on what's his name? I can't remember his name. I didn't pick him anyway, so his name doesn't matter. But okay. I think Kwity Paye from the Colts is underrated, not underrated, but being slept on. And not only is he going to win Rookie of the Year defensively, but he has the dopest name I think I've ever heard. I'm really upset that my last name is Wahlberg because Kwity Wahlberg sounds terrible. But it's a tight first name. Defensive Player of the Year on the Rams team, Aaron Donald. Offensive Player of the Year, Josh Allen, and MVP, Josh Allen.
Nice.
Damn. We're all on the Bills.
This guy's
going
nuts over there.
I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah, I saw it. Oh, boy.
I got my 2 rookies.
All right, go ahead. I'll go next.
All right, so I'm going to do the divisions first. AFC East. I can't do the Dolphins. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm realistic. They're not winning shit. So I got the Bills, AFC South, Titans, North. That division is tough. I'm going with the Browns, though. Hope they can stay healthy. You got a good run game. And they got playmakers. West, AFC West, Chiefs, NFC East, Cowboys, NFC South. I'm taking the Bucks. I had to put a little bit of thought in that one. NFC West, that was definitely the toughest one.
Best division in football.
Yeah, it really is. But I am going to take the Rams winning that division. I do believe in Stafford. I picked him up in my fantasy league, so we'll see. And then the North, I'm taking the Packers. Sorry. I think Rodgers wins MVP this year. No, sorry, Mahomes. Mahomes is winning MVP. And then as far as wild card, Dolphins will make the playoffs as a wild card team, Ravens and Colts.
Nice.
And then NFC, I'm taking the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and the Saints. As far as rookies, offensive rookie of the year, this is tough. There were so many good players, but I'm taking Kyle Pitts just because he's going to get probably the most usage on that team out there, and they got no one else. They traded away Julio, so it's gonna be the Pitts show. And then and then as far as offensive rookie, I am gonna be super biased on this one. I'm taking my dog Jalen Phillips, big year.
There you go.
Out of the U, playing with the Dolphins, so we need that. MVP, I said Mahomes. Offensive Player of the Year, Dalvin Cook. I believe that they're going to go run first, and he's just going to run over everybody. That dude can score whenever he touches the ball. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And then Super Bowl, Packers, Titans. Devontae Adams wins MVP. Going on a limb there.
Nice. Ray, I think Garrett Cole just left the game with an injury behind you. I did see him walking off the field with a trainer.
Yeah, I'm playing. Oh, motherfuck. I'm playing you in fantasy, obviously week 1 of the playoffs. And
you'll beat me. Congratulations.
Mother shit. That sucks.
All right.
Mother shit.
I'll go because I'll make mine super efficient. I don't have much to say. Okay. AFC East, I have the Bills. AFC North, I have the Browns. Fuck it. AFC South, I have the Titans, and the AFC West, I have the Chiefs. The 2 wild cards, I have Pittsburgh and the Colts. A little surprise there. Sometimes injuries and, there's always somebody that sneaks in there that shouldn't have been there. NFC, I have the Giants winning our division because I think it's going to be so close where it's going to be 1 or 2 games between probably 3 teams like it was last year.
I agree.
I got the NFC North. I have the Packers. I have NFC South, Bucks. NFC West, it's a team that I always like to root for out there on the West Coast is the Seahawks. And then my 2 wild card picks are the Rams and Cowboys. MVPs, offensive side, I have Josh Allen like Ben has. A defensive MVP, I have TJ Watt, which he's holding out today, which is pretty
might be a little hard.
Well, I mean, I wanted to go with somebody that, obviously Aaron Donald is
sack leader last year.
Yeah.
Is always that pick, but sometimes there comes, perfect timing. So I wanted to kind of change it up, thinking that, or assuming that you guys all had Donald.
Yep.
Rookie of the year offense. It was either Harris or Lawrence. I'm going to just go with the person I wrote down first, which is Najee Harris. And then defensive, I've been watching Hard Knocks, so I guess I'm a little biased, and I hate the Cowboys, but Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Dude, just watching him and just
he's good.
Yeah, man, and
so good.
You could just the way he talks, just the way he goes about his business, always wanting to get in. That's something. There might be something brewing there for some alt defensive all pro and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And then just to cap it off, I got Super Bowl. I have the Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks.
Nice.
I don't know who wins. I'm going to say the Buffalo Bills. Fuck it.
Okay.
There you go.
That's
2
it.
Bills Super Bowl picks here.
Did I miss anybody? Did I miss any category? Okay, cool.
No, I think you're good. Do you think this randomly just came to me? Do you think that Jerry Jones had them add an extra game into the regular season so that the Cowboys can't go 8-8 again?
Hey, you know what? I would not put that past him.
Yeah, I really would not
put that past him. He's got a lot of power.
Yeah, right.
I would not put that past him.
And he loves to salt up his
I gotta ask Rod about that this
breakfast.
week. Yeah, that's funny.
All right.
It's true.
I'm gonna lean in this way. AFC East, I have the Bills. AFC North, I have the Steelers. AFC South, I have the Titans. AFC West, I have the Chiefs. NFC East, I was going to pick the Cowboys, but I then picked the Giants because I do believe that we're gonna surprise people, and we also might go 4-13. NFC North, I have the Packers. NFC South, I have the Bucks, and NFC West, I do have the Rams. Super Bowl, I do have the Chiefs winning. I think that they'll learn from last year, and they're just too damn talented. So if their defense is playing well, the offense just has to mess around and score 30. MVP, I'm sick that most of you took Josh Allen. I thought that was going to be sneaky of me, but I do have Josh Allen. Offensive rookie of the year, I do have Najee Harris. Have him on majority of my fantasy teams this year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Micah Parsons, as Ray said. Offensive Player of the Year, obviously Josh Allen, if he's going to win MVP. And then for Defensive Player of the Year, I have kind of I would say low-key type of guy. He plays probably the best middle linebacker in the league, Fred Warner, for the Niners. I think the Niners are going to have a sneaky good defense this year with a lot of their guys healthy.
Is he on a new contract?
They did lose their
signed.
defensive coordinator though.
Yeah, but you got I
He's
don't want
good.
to say it.
I mean, he
No,
should.
They got Nick
take that
Bosa,
next
and then
level.
they have they got a lot of guys back. AFC.
they'll be
My
fine.
wild cards for the AFC were the Browns, Colts, and Ravens. And then for the NFC, it was the Seahawks, Cowboys, and Saints. My boy
Sweet.
Jameis is about to flourish this year.
I hope so,
Yeah.
man.
The Josh Allen pick, I think, is legit.
Yeah.
Look at what he did last year, and he's got all those weapons still lined up for him again this year with another year under his belt experience. I mean, I think he's going to unload. That's, I'd like to see. That team, I think, is talented. So he's got it there in front of him. No excuses.
Yep.
So
If you guys could write, and I'm sure you guys either wrote it down or have it in your phone, just screenshot it or take a picture, send it to me. I'll keep like a note because like we did the NBA predictions, we sent it out and just for shits and
And hey,
giggles.
I will say I did put my money where my mouth is. I did do a 7-team parlay on division winners
You're nuts.
for $10. I
A
did every division
7-team
except for the NFC East. So that shows you how little faith I have in the Giants of winning it, actually.
That is nuts.
But
I like it.
Let's
Can't do
let's
that.
have some fun.
I can't
I
place
hate
a
futures
bet that
bets.
far into the future.
Yeah, I hate
That's
it.
Nah,
Not
it's
only the
hard.
far into the future, but with that many picks, like that's insane.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good odds.
fuck it.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah,
the
speaking
allure.
of bets,
And
that
it's
was.
like,
Did you see the dude that whoever bet unders on like some of the college football
Dude,
games and it hit?
the
That was
most
sick.
insane thing ever. Like I would have immediately went to the middle of the street and took my pants off. Immediately. $10 bet to win $79,000.
That's so awesome. Like
That's all I need in life.
Yeah.
unders on everything. That's ballsy too, because it's like one of the first like weeks of college football.
I
Nobody
know.
factors-
It's like, wait a minute. Of all weeks to not take the unders, don't take them the first week.
right.
But
What do we think about
Wow.
the first week of college football?
It was ass.
what? I
was
loved
great.
it. I thought it was great, to be back. I'll probably watch a lot more college this year than I have years past, just because I don't know. I feel like we haven't had football in a long time for some reason.
Yeah.
It
Football's
just felt
different with
good.
fans.
I think having
And
the
then-
atmosphere now with the fans.
Yeah.
makes it
Yes,
way
especially
more.
college.
That was so good to
Especially
see.
college.
Me as a Iowa State fan, our first game, we're highly touted, ranked. We're preseason number 7, supposed to have a great team.
Yo, that YouTube
And
TV
then-
doing great and Ray's.
Yeah.
I'm cooking.
And
I'm about
then
to get a
They've been
4 TV
buffering.
just for the shit. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. Our first game did not look like how I thought we should, but hey, I'm not gonna get too crazy about it.
Stay humble,
first game
as
of
you
the
say.
season. Typically, with a long Iowa State fan, that first game of the season is usually not good. But this week we have our in-state rivalry, Iowa State, and they're now ranked 9 and 10, so they're both top 10 ranked.
And it's
in
on game
Ames.
day.
College game day is going to be in Ames on Saturday. It should be rocking. Iowa looks really good. So that should be a great game.
Yeah.
There. That'll be the big test. We have, as an Iowa State fan, we have to beat them if we want any chance of like taking it to the next level. We have to absolutely beat them on Saturday. If we don't, then it's going to remain, Iowa's going to remain the big dog in the state like usual. And then, we'll be a little stepbrother still, but sorry, I'm losing my voice for some
I
reason.
like that. You sound hot.
Yeah. But I love the college football. Yeah.
Yeah, no, college football is fun.
Best
I was just
game of the-
saying that
best
shit
game of the
'cause
weekend,
Miami
Sunday
got
night?
smoked.
Yeah,
That was a
that's
good
pretty
game.
ugly. I'm not gonna lie.
I knew it was gonna be ugly. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't do the. I was gonna take your guys' spread, but I'm glad I didn't.
no, I was gonna take the over, and I'm glad I didn't, because then I was like, yo, you know what? We probably not even gonna score 21. So let me chill.
Damn, that's really crazy though. As much as I hate you guys, I really didn't think that was gonna happen.
Yeah. You see the guy with the sign that was like, and they say taking the U money line is the most locked bet ever.
Yeah,
He held up a
right.
sign. Yeah. He held up a sign at
Guy
the
needs to
game.
reevaluate his life.
Heroin is a
Like,
hell of a drug.
Wait a minute. What are you?
Probably
what
my
are you
boy
doing here?
Orlando out there with the sign.
Yeah, I
Biggest
know.
Kings fan I know.
I saw someone tweet that was like, Miami's down something nothing to Alabama, and there are 50 NFL football players that are on the team.
I guess
Yeah,
if
it
you
was
play
like
Alabama,
37-0.
I guess if you play Alabama week 1 for the opposing team, it's a celebration of like real deal hope, because it's like, you're going to lose, but you might as well be all excited, go all out for game 1, because in the event that shock happens around the world, at least you had a party, you had people over. Obviously, it's going to end how it's going to end, but like that slimmer of hope.
Yeah.
So I mean, I seen that the U was kind of crazy with their
Mark Richt came to Coral
confidence.
Gables, scheduled Alabama, and bounced.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like,
Good man.
have fun.
Good man.
Have fun.
That's definitely
And
the
then
feeling. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that Georgia Clemson game too was good. So
I didn't watch that one.
I
It
didn't
was like
watch it, I'm not gonna
10-3, right?
lie.
Yeah, it was a super low score.
well, it was just Clemson getting beat. I was kind of
That's
hoping
always
to see
good.
that a little bit.
Yeah.
And Georgia, I think, is a real contender this year. So I think Alabama, watch out for Georgia. They're a nasty team. Their defense is nasty.
Yep. Should be a fun. Actually, they're probably on the same side of the SEC, but if not,
Yeah.
it'd be a fun SEC championship game, which won't happen. I take that back.
Any sport topics that you had? That's all I kind of had, just because it was going to be a big NFL week.
I was going to say, to your point of playing a game where you probably know you're not going to win, but having those parties and being there just in case it magically happens was definitely the feeling Sunday night being an FSU fan. So we were in a game that we should not have been in, that we would not have been in the past 4 years. Hate to be the person who's like, yeah, we lost, but hey, we lost, but it was surprising. It was. So
I was
hopefully we
confused
can
for a
carry
second.
the momentum.
I know. I took Notre Dame like I think it was like -8. No, it was -7. I took the over. No, I took what did I take? I don't know. Either way, I fucking lost it. But it was I think it was Notre Dame -7. I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. I didn't expect anything out of FSU.
Yeah.
And then I definitely
Glad
lost
we have
that.
a defense
So,
again.
Yep, somebody knew something out there.
Yeah.
Somebody knew something.
For real. I was surprised at that, because I seen the score at one point, and I seen you tweeting Gravy and a bunch of other things on Instagram. I was like, wait, they made that a game? And then I checked the score. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck happened? So that's college football for you, though.
Yep.
It's the way the rules are, the way it's set up with first down, stop the clock, and move the ball. I'm not a fan of it, but it gets teams involved.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it is
Yeah.
what it is. It's a different game, totally different game
I
from
watched,
going
like-
from college to NFL when you talk about clock management.
What's up with
Yeah.
the whole targeting shit now?
So
every
whack.
game.
What is? I guess I haven't paid that much attention. What is it? I mean, I know
It's
what
just
targeting
not-
is, but
It's not a consistent call.
is it
Yeah.
a point of emphasis now in college this year?
It's been a
Yes.
point of
It
emphasis
seems
for
to
the
be.
past like 4 or 5 years. But
I
yeah,
don't
they're
mind
going
it, but
crazy
you
now.
can't eject them. Like you can't eject
Yeah.
them for the game.
They're
If you do it
ejecting-
twice,
They're ejecting players
Yeah.
on first call. Like
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
targeting out the game. Damn, that's
Yeah,
that's
they'll
hard.
and you
review
used to
it,
have
like-
to take like a walk of shame.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
now you
hard.
don't.
Now you don't have to. Yeah. Which is
I
what I
thought-
was wondering when Bubba Bolden got a targeting call too, and I was like,
And that was a
fucking guy.
terrible call.
Yeah, it was. It was a terrible form tackle for him too. He like bent all the way down. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, dude? But whatever. Yeah, we get all the targeting calls, so I know all about targeting.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just saw Twitter blowing up. I think 4 people got ejected from that Louisville Ole Miss game last night just from
Yep.
targeting. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yep, and
Did you-
it's not consistent. And maybe
Yeah,
if you
I
do
saw
it
some of the
twice, okay,
videos.
I get it. Then eject them, but you can't eject these kids. And they're suspended. Like I think you can't play like the first half of the next game
Kills your
Yeah.
because they're trying
confidence
to get their
too.
stats up and trying to make the league. And this is what you're doing. Like they called it on a guy last week or this past weekend, and he was in the box, like trying to make a tackle, and was already like lower, like going down to get the running back like in his midsection, and then the running back lowered his head. So then they called it targeting. Like, it's just,
Yeah, that's messed up.
there's bad ones, which rightfully so, get penalized, but the ones that they're calling lately are just awful.
Yeah, I feel like the ones for me that stick out to me that are usually hands down targeting in live time, and also when you review it, is the ones that, the safety's going, running back's going back and he's coming this way, and he's just trying to put a lick on him just so take out the ball. You seen that? I forgot, what was it? Antoine Bolden. There was one years ago that he got popped. I think they were playing the Jets.
Was it in the end zone? Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. Like, that's kind of my staple, where that's targeting. That you could
nasty.
decapitate a motherfucker. So like that's kind of my target. But I know the ones that they're doing is inside the box, linebackers going for a tackle on a running back, and it's like, man, they're both trying to get low. They're both trying to do the same thing at the same time, and that sucks for young players. Tom Brady came out on a show this week. Not sure if you've seen the clip about, instead of penalizing or focusing so much on the defense, we got to teach these running quarterbacks how to throw the ball, not to throw it in certain
penalizing
ways.
The defense for quarterbacks' mistakes.
There you go. I love that. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Me too.
I agree with it. And Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee today. He completely agreed with what Tom Brady said.
So, well, they're the two that, I mean, if you're gonna listen.
Yeah,
they know what they're fucking talking
about. Listen to those two motherfuckers
for real.
Sure.
Yeah. Damn.
Anything else about football in general before we move on to other things that are going on in the world? And we got Gravy's top 5 today.
Who draft quarterbacks in the first round. Shout out to the people who try to veto trades. And shout out to the people who auto draft. Yeah.
Ooh.
No.
Don't join a fantasy league if you're not going to make the draft. Like,
yeah.
That's,
I was drafting at a bar, like right before the comedy, right in Ford's league, like while getting ready on my phone, like on the way to, I didn't drive while doing it. I sat in the passenger side, and then at the bar, like, who makes it? Well, that was kind of,
you have a pretty good team.
Yeah,
too,
decent team. I didn't like that Ford did it on a Friday evening. Never seen a fantasy draft on a Friday evening before in my life. But yeah, scheduling was a bitch. So I just did it. As long as I have my phone, I got a full battery, whatever the case may be. But that auto draft is for the birds. What the fuck?
Yeah, for the birds.
You auto draft and you're just like not really in it. I'd still rather have control of who I pick.
Yeah, I'd rather make a horrible pick that I selected versus the auto draft, because I can blame myself at the end of the day. I can't blame the fucking computer.
Yeah, because auto draft just picks like the best player available, right?
Yeah, usually. Or if you have somebody in the queue, somebody in the queue, which I only do to somebody I forget.
In one of my leagues, we had a guy auto draft because he was at the Iowa State game. And then this idiot drops Tyrell Williams and Cortland Sutton, like just drops them. I'm like, and I didn't even know that he dropped Sutton, or else I would have picked his ass up. But I'm like, why did you do that? He's like, oh, I didn't want him. I was like, bitch, I would have traded for him.
Right.
It's a bunch of
doing dumb shit.
Guys. That same guy
got scooped up.
That same guy, because I drafted Derrick Henry. I had number 1 pick in that league. And
that's what Ford did.
He messaged me and was like, what do you want for Henry? And I wrote him back and I said, I want a new car. And then when my daughter turns 16, I want you to buy her a new car.
And I'll need your last 4 digits of your social security number. Just
that same guy. We just like messing with him. He's on the softball team. Yeah.
Clan.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's talk before we go into Gravy's top 5. I know we'll do some trending topics, kind of shake it up. We'll save the top 5 for the ending. But Bet the Fort, what did you have going on? Talk about your last week and also kind of your announcement or what you have for us. Go ahead.
Boys went 0-4 last week. That's my worst week ever.
Can't always be on fire.
Yeah, for real. A little humbling experience. I'll take it.
Yep.
Right in the chin.
Just call it a market correction. Market correction.
Market correction happened today. I hope y'all boys scooped up some crypto, free money.
Yep.
That shit dropped. I was like, that Coinbase was like, no more for you. I was
I
like,
know,
fuck you,
bro.
Coinbase.
Sick.
So I went on
Yeah.
MetaMask and I bought some more.
Yeah.
But no, it's like Ray said, as far as bet the fort, I'll have some picks during the week for the next few months. But for football, we're probably just gonna wait till either like Saturday night or early Sunday morning. I'm not doing no picks on Tuesday because that doesn't make sense. So we're
You want to
either
do
probably
like
just,
an IG live maybe Friday or
Yeah,
Saturday or
yeah,
even
we'll
Sunday
probably do like
fucking
an IG
morning. I could do.
live.
Yeah, we could do.
Yeah,
Perfect.
just throw it up on the story. Yeah, that way it's closer to
Cool.
game time and
Smart. Very
decisions and
smart.
stuff like that. So winning football year this year. Let's get it, baby.
We're
Let's
tired
do
of getting
it.
finessed by Tuesdays.
I'm excited.
Fuck this
You
shit.
know.
Yeah, right. Like he's like, I'm not compromising. I'm not doing an 0-4 based on somebody got
Yeah. Nah,
somebody
I-
got
it was
COVID
a
on a
bad 0-4
Saturday.
too.
Was it?
I've taken really,
Someone got swept. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, damn.
I've taken really
yeah,
kind
Athletics
of,
got
I've
swept.
slowed down on betting a bit just to kind of,
Me too.
not
I
because
have
I'm
too.
just I'm getting primed for football season. As soon as
Yeah.
this weekend hits, I'm back in it. I'm
Parlay.
back full force.
Parlay
Yes.
me.
Parlay me.
Parlay me.
Hey, I will say, Tom Brady over 2.5 passing touchdowns on Thursday.
Yeah.
Think so?
It's like
I
plus
already took it.
114 or plus 148 or something like that.
Yeah.
can't
I took it
remember.
already.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Mhm.
bet then. Yeah.
Yep, he has good stats on opening night. So, and if you know
So
anything
does
about
Kirk
the Cowboys,
Cousins.
it's that they have absolutely no secondary.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like the Cowboys secondary is poo-poo garbage. So
Poo-poo.
Oop,
I'm looking for a big game. Yeah.
scoop diddy scoop scoop.
Was that your announcement for it that you were going to do it more later on in the week?
Yeah, for football. Yeah, I'll still have some bets when we record and whatnot, but hopefully we get some good UFC stuff coming up. I know we got some good fights.
Yes, sir. Yeah, a lot of fights are being announced for obviously
And
fall.
baseball playoffs right around the corner.
Yes, sir. So it's going to kick up. We had a little lull for like about 4 or 5 weeks with sports, some soccer here
Yeah.
and there, but we're about to turn it up come the fall. That's when sports are at its best. October sports is the best, in my opinion.
Hell yeah.
So before we go to Gravy's top 5, which is back and better than ever, let's have some fun with some trending topics. Yesterday, was it? Michael K. Williams found dead in his apartment. Drug related, I think, allegedly. Obviously gone too soon. Legendary characters, Omar and
Wire.
Boardwalk Empire, Chalky. Right? Chalky, right?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
Sucks, man. We're losing a lot of
Yeah.
either actors, artists in general. I guess you want to sum it up into me. And most of them are due to drugs. So it
Yep.
sucks.
I know. Sad.
Don't
R.I.P.
do drugs.
All right.
Just know when to stop, basically. But that's,
R.I.P.
I guess.
To him. But yeah, it's super sad. I hate when I call them creatives, when creatives, go too soon, didn't
Mhm.
get to share more of their creativity with the world. I think maybe in many ways, sometimes being creative like that, having one of those mentalities, people like that I'm talking about suffer from trying to maybe keep all that in, or what. And so drugs seem to turn to that, also that lifestyle, nothing
Yeah,
I
man.
can even imagine
Mhm.
living, but he's a legend. And some like historical shows he was in that'll
Yeah.
live long forever. So
Anything else on him?
Nope,
Fort?
just rest in peace. Prayers for his family and friends. Don't know too much about him besides those 2 shows. So that's it. That's it from me.
And then also, of course, shout out 3 years of Mac Miller. Obviously, it's always
Yes.
a similar situation where, the artist of what Ben spoke about and kind of battling, being creative and drug related. And then you dive into a lifestyle, meeting different type of people. And then all it takes is one situation where it's probably going to be the same thing. You hear the F word, which is mixed in some drugs that are deadly. Mac Miller died of, but another creative person that was talk about gone too soon. You kidding me?
Yeah.
He was young as
Yeah.
fuck. I think
I
we
know.
all kind of grew up listening to him, but in our early 20s or
Yeah. He
kinda
was
when
growing up while we were growing up.
for
Yeah.
real. That's when it hurts a lot too. When you watch somebody grow up with you and vice versa. That's pretty cool. But
Mike played high school. Well, Mike went to high school with him. I don't know if he played basketball with him or not, but I believe he knew him. So
No,
tough loss for everybody. And we definitely miss him and his music. I always run back his albums here and there just to remember how simple life was back then.
right?
For real.
Doesn't it put you in an immediate time period in your life?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Snapbacks were back, G-Shocks were up. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was like
G-Shocks.
Sitting on the
G-Shocks.
electrical box at Vito and Robbie's house.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I went to a meet and greet when he had that concert at the Fillmore, and that was pretty cool. That was one of the best concerts I've been to, and I saw Mac a few times. So yeah, I mean, just what Gravy said, just growing up with him as he was growing up, some good music, and I always run back Kids or Faces or whatever it is, Best Day Ever, just out of respect.
But on a lighter note, obviously we got music. Last week we got CLB Drake, Certified Lover Boy finally dropped. I know Ben, we talked about this, man. What was it? 10, 12, 15 episodes ago. We were talking about this when the name first came out. I feel
first episode.
right. I feel like episode 2 of the utility play. So talk about growing up with somebody. I mean, I feel like we grew up with the buzz about this album drop.
Later,
so yeah.
Sorry.
Tell me your feelings on it. It's I listened to a lot of the album. What were your guys? We'll lead off with Ben first because getting back into the swing. But you've had a lot of time to listen to music.
Yeah.
You're not working, so you got other than taking care of the baby, you could throw on some headphones.
Yeah, I have, and I wasn't here last week, so I'm gonna kind of talk about Donda and Certified Lover Boy at the
Makes
same
sense.
time. But
Donda,
I gave them I gave them both. I think I've listened to Donda probably 6 times through now, and Certified Lover Boy probably 5 times through now. And I try to like do that. And I also like to listen to them in different environments. So like I'll put my headphones on and go walk my dog by myself, or do that to get a feel for it. I'm going to talk about Donda first. I actually like it. So I think that what people struggle with is they try to, especially with Kanye, is they try to package him into like what he was before previously. They go to those first 3 albums and be like, okay, when he used to rap a lot, and be like, hey, they missed that Kanye, but Kanye is that type where he's just trying to reinvent himself in whatever kind of emotional state or space he's in his life at that time. And so a lot of his music, I try to look past that a bit. And, it's obviously very spiritual and God and all that. And, I look past a lot of that and just try to listen to the music and going on. And I actually like the album a lot. I think musically, I think it is just immaculately produced, by the way. The production on it is incredible. Some of the songs are like, I think it suffers from being too long. I think it's 24 songs long. There's a lot of them on there you can cut off, but I actually am a big fan of it. I like it. Certified Lover Boy, I like it as well. I have to say, it's not the album I was expecting from Drake. I think it's a little more like Take Care vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did miss a club banger, a couple of club bangers.
Yes, I was looking for some of those. And then, you know what? I had to get myself in the space of, okay, this, again, I'm doing that thing that I get mad people do Kanye. I'm putting Drake in this, and then each album of his is different. He's in a different space here. He's creating this artwork of his that's supposed to all be together. If he threw some of those club bangers on there, then that album is kind of like, okay, it feels like what is this project here? So I do like it a lot. There's a couple songs on there I really don't like. The Little Baby song, I think it's Girls, whatever. I do not like that song. I don't know. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like they could have taken that farther, but I like Certified Lover Boy. And I think I just want to sum it up like this. Do you guys know the comedian Andrew Schultz?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah.
Okay. He tweeted something that I completely agree with, or he said something on his Instagram. He said, they're both great. They're both like geniuses. Kanye's better at making music, but Drake is better at rapping. I completely agree with that. And he's like, it's a shame that we won't get these two to work on an album together for whatever fucking reason. And I kind of agree with that, because could you imagine if those two like got in a booth in the studio and just try to record something? It'd be crazy. But yeah, that's it. I'm still listening to both of them, so that means I still like them both. If I didn't like him, I wouldn't still be listening to him. And I'm listening to him every morning.
I agree with the Dawn to Take. I listen to it here and there. I definitely have maybe like 3 or 4 songs, maybe 5 songs that I gravitate towards, and that's about it for Donda.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be mad if like I was on shuffle and other ones came on. I agree with your take on Certified Lover Boy. Maybe it wasn't the album that most people were looking for, but I remember everyone saying Nothing Was the Same was terrible.
Yep.
And that album's a fucking classic.
Yep.
Facts,
So
yeah.
I think Drake's, if you go back and listen to Drake's songs from 7 years ago, it's about stuff that's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's so good at that maybe his albums take us a little, like they need to marinate a little bit. And once we, a couple of weeks from now, a month or two from now, we're going to be like, damn, this was fire. And we didn't realize it yet. So, no skips for me on CLB. I hate to say it.
Hey, I do want to say, I do completely agree with you there on the Drake take, because that personal experience is kind of what I felt. Because I remember when Drake first, kind of got big, I wasn't the biggest fan of his. I really wasn't. Probably for his first couple albums, I didn't. And then they like grew on me. And then I started listening to him more. And then I'm like, okay, I get this more. And then I became a real big fan of his. And so I completely agree there. Sometimes it's like, okay, I don't know what this is yet. Keep listening to it. And then eventually it's going to click. And you're like, this is a fucking classic.
Yeah.
So
I like the environment thing as well. I had to listen to it in the car.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I said that. I can't remember. I think it was last episode. That you got to have the AirPod listen. You got to have just the regular like chill listen.
Yep.
You got to have the car listen. Like,
yep.
That's what music is. I like the features on CLB. I think Wayne's feature was good. I like both of Future's songs. It's a good album. I don't really know the names of them. I just like play it and let it ride.
Yeah.
So I like Donda too. I mean, I'm like Ben said, I'm still listening to them. So it's probably what I'll listen to for the next few months, regardless of what other music drops. So
Drake, shout out Drake too. He's also the king of music videos.
absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Kawhi
on there's big time.
He's king of music videos.
Although I will say Drake hasn't dropped a song where he doesn't talk about his son since Pusha called him out. So,
really?
Yeah, he does mention him a lot.
I mean, I'm being
hey.
facetious, but
of course.
God,
good
he
at
says a
pairing
line. He
He's
says
good
a
at,
line
like,
in
putting
CLB.
artists on tracks and pairing other artists together.
Yeah.
Like, no one would think Project Pat and 21 Savage would be on a song together.
No, but
I like that song.
I like that song a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Give him props. For that.
The other one I like a lot too. Man, what is it? It's called. Is it Into
Deep.
Deep? Is that what it is?
That's a good one.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean,
So,
any Drake song that has a time, automatically fire.
Yeah.
That 7 a.m. on Brittle Path,
Yeah.
fire.
He
Yeah.
snapped on that.
I know.
Yeah. Fill in the
I know.
blank.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
fill in
That was the
blank.
first song that stuck out to me when I listened to it one time through. That was the one that like a few bars in the flow was like, ooh, this reminds me of that 2008 Drake that I used to bump.
Yeah.
Yep.
You say he's the king of music videos. He's also the king of intros.
Yes,
It's not
I
one
know.
intro.
Intros,
This man
outros.
just,
Yep.
yeah.
I know.
There's not one intro. This man does.
Yeah, that first song I love. Like that first song right off the bat, like the sample they use or whatever that gets your attention right away. You play that in a car and don't say a word, someone's gonna nod their head and be like, okay, I like this. And just the way they let it.
transitions in the album are good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I didn't like the intro that much. And for me, he has great intros. He has great outros. I love the outro, the Remorse. It's always Drake's second song that's like the most fire for me.
Yeah.
Like Nothing Was the Same was Tuscan Leather.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I always go back to. Nothing was the same because that's probably my favorite Drake album. But I wasn't as high on the intro. At least like I said, in a few weeks maybe it'll grow on me. But the outro was fire.
Yeah, that's the beauty of music. It's subjective, and then when somebody mentions a song they love or they like, I'll listen to it more and be like, all right, let's figure out something I like about this because maybe I'm not hearing it. And then most of the time you do fall in love or fall in like more than you did before because you give it a shot. Sometimes people write off songs and I'm like, just give things a chance. Listen to it in a different setting or a mood. That's why you got to listen to it a few loops through.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Hey,
outside of
honorable mention, WizKid's new album, latest
Oh,
album
yes,
too,
very
is
good.
fire.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
outside of music, I don't know if it dropped today that they were coming out with it, but movie wise, The Matrix.
Mhm.
Not sure if you guys are big into Matrix. I don't think it's
Yep.
ever been talked about.
I'm
Somebody
not.
I watched. I've been watching them high like in the last 6 to 12 months, and
I've seen. Yeah. I've
sometimes
seen
you need to
the
stop
trilogy.
because it's too much. But then if you get that right dosage, you start to
Wait,
realize like,
you've been
why is this
watching them
becoming
while you're
life?
high, or you've been watching them like a lot? Like,
I've been watching them high
oh, okay.
recently more than in my adult life. Like I think when they first came out, everybody, you watch it on whether when it comes out or when it's on TNT, you just throw it on. But I've been trying to get into. I'll probably do it right before it comes out as well. But you start to realize how the fuck did they write this 20 years ago, and now when me and Ben side chat on this topic all the time about how life is just crazy with like Joe Rogan's podcast, some of the people he has on, like how is it linked up so closely,
Yeah.
like where it's
Yeah.
like it can, not only a simulation, but like the way phones and technology are coming into us. They didn't know that 20 years ago. They didn't know an iPhone,
Or
but
did they?
or did
Mhm.
they? Allegedly.
Yep.
What are you guys in love with it, or you guys kind of it's something you get
I'll
into?
sit
I
this one
know.
out.
Yeah. What was it?
I'm-
John Wick? Somebody told me recently to get into, which don't tell
John
me
Wick
much,
is
but
the
Oh yeah,
shit.
I'm
John
pretty sure it
Wick.
was made
bruh.
for it.
John Wick is
John
the
shit.
Wick. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
watch.
I'm watching
John
it
Wick.
as soon as we sign off. I'm
Boban
gonna
Feel
watch
like
it.
John
Wick.
Wick.
If you've
which
never
is
watched
sick.
John Wick, you gotta start with the first one.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get high
Don't
and watch it.
Have
Of course,
to.
of course.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm into the Matrix. I haven't watched them in years, and now Emily and I have been looking for things to like lists of things
Literally
to
or
watch and stuff with our
figuratively?
time. So, I'm gonna put that on our list and rewatch them. So,
Yeah,
What about
I
you,
gotta
I've seen
get
the
in that vibe
trilogy.
again.
I've seen the trilogy. I gotta rewatch it, just out of respect. But like in my other chat, they were talking about it. They're like, "Yo, he didn't even cut his hair. He still looks like John Wick. Like, you gotta
Yeah.
bring back the clean shaven." I was like, "It's probably just gonna be like another John Wick." And then they were all like, "I'll take another John Wick. Like, he's just fucking up shit." Like, I don't know. I'm
Honestly,
excited.
I don't think he's clean shaven or cut his hair since the Matrix later on. Like I feel like he's been rocking the same vibe since.
Yeah,
He just don't give a
Nah,
shit. He just
Keanu's
does his
good,
thing.
yeah.
Love it.
Fucking John Wick.
And then let's see, what else did I have? Oh
WWE.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I want to. This is the other topic that I had. Obviously, I tried to give First Take a chance with Michael Irving today,
Oh,
and that's
boy.
just two loud
Oh,
motherfuckers
God.
yelling at each other. That's like two of me just not agreeing with each
I
other.
can't
Like,
do the
who would want
yelling
to
at
watch
9
that?
o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
I can't.
You know who would
I
be
try,
perfect
but
for
I
first
can't.
take?
Who?
Vito.
Just like not making sense, yelling at, just arguing over points that are totally invalid, but like defending them because you already said it, so you have to keep defending it. I get you on that one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but that was just wild. I was like, who are they going to replace Max Kellerman with? Because for the most part, Max Kellerman's like a little calm and he'll put up with Stephen A. But like Michael Irvin is on that,
Max Kellerman.
that
is fucking
shit
saying
early in
anything
the
under
morning.
sun, though.
Huh?
Max Kellerman says anything under the fucking sun, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
for
takes
real.
are wild.
Andre
Your boy
Iguodala.
your boy Tim Tebow will be on Fridays.
Yeah, is that
Nice.
what they're gonna do? They're
Yeah,
gonna
so it's
like
Irving on Mondays, but obviously we had the holiday
Uh-huh.
yesterday, and then Tebow on Fridays, and then Stephen A's like basically got to earn your spot during the middle part of the week.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
And they could do so many of they link up with other channels and other networks that have people on like Magic Johnson stuff. So basketball's coming back. So that's smart. Keep the window open, see what the people want, but whatever. It's fucking nobody's really watching ESPN First Take, Wake Up, God Bless, whatever.
Can't do it.
Whatever the show they're watching.
I'm not.
Can't watch
Um,
Undisputed either.
no.
Nah, none of those shows are clicking for me. And then the last one I had was obviously a big day. Gravy back. Talk a little wrestling. Bryan Danielson comes back. Adam Cole, CM Punk wrestles for the first time. Obviously, I know Ford and Ben aren't into it that much, but I don't know if you've seen some cool videos I send you guys sometimes, or just
I did wake up this morning to a text from Bree of Bobby Lashley getting RKO'd by Randy Orton.
dog. That video, we were trying to
That
go
was
like
fire.
whatever angle she got and I got, but
Yeah.
it turns out she was more hyped than I was. I'd send you guys the picture of her having the title belt.
Anybody
She,
can get hype
Yeah.
in that place,
dude.
Even if you're not invested in it like as much as we are, once you're in there, you have to be a part of it.
Yeah, you get a little, beer, liquor in you, and then you get to act. That's the one thing about I've been to two in the recent years is you get there and you're like, oh, I don't know how I should be, right? And then you get to see like everybody acting exactly how they want to be, like little kids, like grown adults. Like you look around, there's like couples that are 40 years old, 20 years old, and then little kids, and you're like, I get to do whatever the fuck I want. No one's judging me. Dude, to start off the show at 7, we got into the arena super early because we had good seats, but there was little kids shouting "Hiya" everywhere for an hour and a half. There was 6-year-old, 5-year-olds, whatever, and I would look around to see who's doing it, thinking it's like a grown person, and it was like a little kid just going "Hiya."
So you hear those like stuff like that, and then obviously the Ric Flair woos.
Ric Flair ones, yeah. I was
Those are
shocked
big.
by that. I was like,
That's
these
my
parents
mic
are
check
just
when I get on
letting
the
these kids just
PlayStation
say
party.
this. I don't know. It was wild to me, but to be a wrestling
Hey.
fan is pretty good right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I got a lot of respect for it. I love it.
yeah, I'm
They
going. I
definitely-
just got tickets today to AEW because I want to see because they're coming to
Nice.
Miami. I want to see the WWE crowd, which is more kid friendly, commercialized, not too controversial. And then AEW, which I've been into lately, it's like
More
their
adult.
demographic is the 18 to 32. Ben,
Yeah,
so you
that's
like.
us.
Yeah, they're really like rowdy. The chance they have.
Why
the
are you sitting like that?
Me?
Ben?
Oh, I'm just antsy. I'm just it's hard to keep me still, so I'm just I keep moving.
Hey, I really
Yeah.
feel like we're in that WWE, WCW, ECW type
It's a-
era right now.
It's an amazing thing. It's fun.
So it's
At
a
the
good
end
time
of the
to
day,
get back in.
yeah,
What you're saying.
WWE's letting top guys go. Like it's
yeah. For me personally, it breaks up why I got into it a few years back and even more now. It kind of breaks up the sports for me. Sports can be intense, stressful, and when you got either money on the line or something like that during the week, I need something to just watch. I don't watch reality TV. I don't watch too many shows or movies once in a while, but I need something that feels live and feels entertaining, but isn't stressful to watch, or you just sit back and enjoy whatever happens. Like people could like get knocked out or like all bloodied up, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening here? And it's like in your head, it's like, this is scripted, but that guy was not supposed to lose half his face.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
know. I love it.
Pretty cool.
I mean, I used to love it. I just, got to start watching again. That's the
Throw it
problem. You
on
stop
once in a while
watching.
and have a drink and get high and be like, holy shit, what the fuck is this? Or you'll be like, most of the time, what the fuck is this? I'll never watch it again. Either way, it's pretty cool. Now at the end, Gravy's top 5 is back.
Top 5.
Tell us
Top
what
five,
the
top
topic is, what we're naming, and lead us off.
Yes, Sirski. The top 5 this week is most influential athletes of your life. So I would say just guys or girls that impacted your life, whether it was clothes you wore, how you acted, sports you played, why you got into things. So people along those lines. So if you want to go first, if not, you guys can go and I'll go last, whatever you want to do.
I'll go first.
All right.
I'll go first. I got 5. It was tough to limit it to 5 though.
It
I
was.
got 5.
Yeah.
I know.
So in no specific order,
Specific.
I'm gonna go from the bottom up of how I wrote them. So I got Conor McGregor, definitely not me
Like it.
specifically because I don't do any UFC or martial arts or MMA or anything like that, but he definitely revolutionized like the UFC and just how athletes are able to kind of handle themselves in their own way, and now he's doing stuff outside of sports, which is good for him. Next I got Jose Fernandez. I used to watch a lot of baseball when I was younger, and then I kind of just stopped because it was kind of boring. And then him coming and being on the Marlins and him being Cuban and so young, and that was so awesome. Like I would go to the Marlins games just to watch him pitch And I knew the Marlins were going to win when he pitched because he would throw 8 innings, no runs, and they wouldn't let him finish the game because they were trying to fucking
Save that arm.
Save him, and he still ended up having Tommy John and whatever. Next, I got Kobe, just because he was a Laker and it was always a rivalry. Just how he played, he was always kind of that villain role, and that's good to have growing up, especially when I was younger. And just his work ethic, just it just instills in anything you do, the kind of things that he was doing and what he was trying to do off the court after his career. Wade is Dwayne Wade, just because he was on the Heat, brought a championship, a few of them, and I stole his Euro step. And then last I got LeBron. I got LeBron just because that's probably one of the best athletes to look up to. Just how he's been able to stay at the top of his career in whatever he does, and he's never had any issues outside like that. That is probably one of the most impressive things he's done, to stay out of everything and just being under the spotlight 24/7. So those are my top 5. There's probably so many more I left off that I could think of, but limiting it to 5 was tough.
Yep.
Hey, I'm just proud you had 5 this week.
Bro, that's big.
I got you, bro. For the return. 2 returns this week.
There you go.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, this was tough for me too. There's a lot to think about. So I started to think of it in the way I think Nick kind of talked about it is, I thought of it more the way these 5 people really influenced my love for sports, and they didn't, maybe not that specific sport, but they're like really started to get me into the sport somehow. And so they really influenced me in my love for sports. Without any of these, I don't think I would like sports nearly as much as I do. So Ken Griffey is one of mine. Like growing up watching him, he's got me into baseball. Even though I was a Cubs fan, I grew up watching the Cubs, but Ken Griffey like made baseball cool. I wanted to be him so bad. Growing up, he was just the coolest baseball player you ever saw, and he was fucking good. Then next person I have is Shaq. So I'm always been a big fan of Shaq. I loved him when he played, and I just think off the court, I don't know him, but he seems like a great person. He's very charitable. He does a lot for the community. He's also a police officer, which people forget about.
Yeah, wow. He does everything.
He does everything. I think he's very influential for someone to look up to, and I love, what he's still doing. Next is MJ. Michael Jordan really, to me, was like my introduction into sports, period. He was like the first athlete I ever remember liking and like watching. And so he's like kicked off, I think, my love for sports. I think he's self-explanatory. I don't need to say much there. My next 2 are going to be a little different. One of them, you're going to say maybe he's not an athlete, but he was an athlete at some point, and that's Coach K.
So you're going to say Caitlyn Jenner?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I was thinking the same shit.
I was being like, hey, I respect him, man. You're trying to, you're back. You're trying to diversify yourself.
You really like track growing up.
No, not even.
Swear.
Hey,
Dave, we're on the same level.
No disrespect here, but I mean, I had a long list, and that thing was, or that.
Wow. This guy stinks.
I didn't mean it like that. That's not what I was saying. I have a long list, and she isn't anywhere near it. No disrespect to her. But Coach K, I just, growing up a Duke fan, just the amount of lives he's touched in all of basketball, and you hear the stories that people talk about him in basketball. I know you guys watch The Shop, but hearing Carmelo talk about him on The Shop when he was like, Coach K gave me the best advice ever, and it was like, damn, I went to Syracuse. Damn it, I should have went there. But Coach K is a big one. And then this other person, Tony Hawk. And here's my reason.
Wow.
Tony Hawk was like the introduction into like alternative sports for me. Yep. So skateboarding was there, but he really introduced me into that whole world. I'll call it the X Games world, where you have all these other sports. And because of him, I used to start watching all of those, plus skateboarding. And then anytime X Games comes out, I watch it. I love watching that shit. And without Tony Hawk, I don't think, and I assume maybe there's others like me, might not have dipped their toes into viewing, I'll call them alternative sports. So it's my top 5. Try to be thoughtful there and really think about it. But yeah,
I like that.
I'll go
Yeah,
third,
that's a
Gravy,
good one.
because
Okay.
you go last. Your segment. Number 1, MJ. Obviously, the reason why I played basketball growing up, had the 13s for Christmas, breakaway pants and his jersey at 9 years old. So he's the reason why I started playing basketball. Derek Jeter, New York Yankee. Basically, I was playing baseball first, but just to as a character of a person, when you think character of a person as an athlete, in today's world, they're picked apart. He was in the hardest market in New York, and where they try to find things on you, they try to fabricate almost news, and still undefeated in my opinion. No controversy, nothing illegal. Number 3, I'll go with Floyd Mayweather. Growing up, my dad's boxing was a big deal in my family, and my dad, Muhammad Ali, and then watching it early on was Mike Tyson and De La Hoya. But in my younger years, but going into my teenage years, Mayweather was like solidified as my fighter, almost my boxer, that, you get to see somebody that could go out there and meticulously pick you apart. And he's the reason why I still love boxing to this day. The art of boxing, not just what we watch now, like the profit and the glitz and glamour. He could do both, but man, when it came down to the bell ringing, he was putting on a show every single night. Kobe Bryant, a lot to do with my high school years, watching him. I got the NBA League Pass when I was, I think, 12 years old. My mom got it for me for the year, only so I could watch West Coast Laker games. Wasn't a Laker fan, but when you're watching your team at 7, what are you going to do right before you go to bed? I could watch NBA League Pass Kobe. Do you guys remember that game that he scored? But it was like one of his most famous buzzer beaters at end of game against the Blazers.
Yeah.
You could just type in Kobe Blazers when he got it off the backboard, then won the game winner. It was insane. I watched that live on NBA League Pass at 1 a.m. when I was younger. That always stood out to me. Great memories in the playoffs. And then 5th would be probably in my later years. And then since watching the documentary and now getting into golf, Tiger Woods, just another sport for me to get into that I never thought I would get into, that never had a family influence or too much of friends, but now it's something that I'll play for the rest of my life, even if I can't play other sports. And then learning the dynamic between the media and people proclaiming somebody perfect, and he couldn't be more imperfect. Whether it's personal, you know what I mean? Wow, Tiger Woods, look how clean cut. And then he had troubles like all of us. So that's almost like an athlete and a personal level where it's like, dude, all of us are fucked up. All of us have some shit going on. We could look a certain way, and you're still fighting those demons every single day. So if you guys haven't watched the documentary HBO, definitely watch that on Tiger. It's great. Okay, great.
Yes.
Cool. I like it. I'm going to start at 5 and work my way up. So at 5, I have
so you're ranking
Carmelo
them.
Anthony.
Pressure.
Yeah.
Melo.
I have obviously Carmelo. Named my dog after the damn guy. But him, I think just him growing up, seeing him grow up or go from a high school player into the league while I'm going from middle school to high school or, elementary school to middle school, whatever the case was. He did everything on the basketball court that I like to do, and that was ball hog and shoot a million times. So
he brought swagger back into scoring.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah. Scoring at high volumes and shooting jump shots, not dunking, even though he could, but he was a mid-range 3-point type of guy. Could do it all. Probably top 3 best offensive player ever. I will say that, and I'm not being biased. 4, before Melo was T-Mac. So I was a big T-Mac fan. I had the jerseys, the shoes, the shorts, his whole clothing line. Always rocked number 1, had the Orlando Magic headband, half black, half blue. Just love T-Mac. And once again, one of those high volume scorers. Number 3, I was thinking about putting John Cena, but it's actually going to be Eddie Guerrero. He's big part of why I love wrestling. Him and Rey Mysterio had their posters on my wall growing up. He just
619.
Viva la Raza, coming out on the low riders, doing funny
That was
shit,
dope.
cheating, stealing. He made wrestling fun, especially for a little ugly kid like me.
I always miss a category, and I knew somebody was gonna name a category that I was like, could have named The Rock or Stone Cold. Fuck.
Yeah.
Good one. I like that.
Number 2 is going to be surprising, but I think Ray can understand this probably more than you guys. I obviously grew up in New York for the first 10 years of my life and then moved to South Florida. But living in New York during this time, it was very hard, even as a Mets fan. And this will go into my number 1 person. Number 2 is going to be Derek Jeter. And number 1 is David Wright. So growing up, even in the era of the core 4 for the Yankees, and then, obviously we didn't win a championship, but the Mets had guys like David Wright, Jose Reyes, Cliff Floyd, Pedro, Johan. Those guys kind
Fun
of
team to watch.
Yeah, they shaped my life, and definitely, although I had baseball in my family, definitely helped me love the game even more. And wear number 5, play third base because of David Wright, try to make jump throws and hit to right field like Derek Jeter. Like that was what he tried to do growing up. So definitely have those guys.
That barehanded play he made back in the day, it will always be one of my favorite plays of all time. When like third base, like going back over the shoulder barehand, that was amazing.
Yeah,
is he the greatest Yankee ever?
Derek Jeter?
Yeah.
I was talking about David Wright, but
yeah, he was talking about David Wright. Derek Jeter, the greatest Yankee ever. No.
It's so hard talking about greatest Yankees ever, man. It's
and they retire everybody.
Because you could say no, and it's like not a diss. It's just no.
When you ask most people, if you ask most people that are old enough, like above the age of 40, 50, maybe, you might get a lot of Mickey Mantles. That was like a fan favorite. That was like the David Wright of the 50s.
Yeah.
So that was like the Aaron Judge of now, basically. So it all depends on what decade you ask, because every decade, for the most part, other than the early 90s, late 80s, Mickey, Don Mattingly was, the captain, and that was he was the only one he was the only one not to win anything. Don Mattingly. So he's almost in a category of himself to be loved so much as a Yankee, but yet never win a World Series. And we happened to start the dynasty the year after he retired, or 2 years after. But
shout out to Don Mattingly, who used to babysit my cousins.
Shout out.
Big flex. I will say, I'm just going to say no about that just because I need to think. But if he was to be called the greatest Yankee, I would say probably just of how long his career was, never got in trouble.
How he
never
did
anything stupid. He was there day in and day out. So
he is a Yankee. When you talk about a Yankee.
Yeah, we'll table it for next week and think about it. Bring it back next week. Who is the greatest Yankee?
Well, they're only 4.5 games back, so do not think that I was going to let one episode go by without mentioning that.
Even though we won 13 in a row a week and a half ago, we can't win games. So let's save that until maybe that conversation so we start winning some games. But now it's shout out time, boys. Shout outs, DMs. What do you got? We could go around the table and then close out episode 31.
I'll say shout out. I want to say shout out all the nurses out there. So, obviously recently spent a lot of time in the hospital, had a beautiful daughter, and I was amazed at the nurses. I mean, they were absolutely incredible. Every single one of them. I don't know what we would have done in that hospital without them, for many different situations. And you could tell that they were understaffed and overworked, and you could see it on their faces. They even mentioned it out there. And sometimes you see a lot of nurse slander out there these days for odd reasons, but those people are out there on the front lines, like saving people's lives. And I just want to say shout out all the nurses out there.
Nice. Gravy for it.
Nice.
Shout out all the pears. I like to eat pears.
Pears are good.
Yeah,
I love pears.
Yep, that's all I got. I don't like anybody.
Shout out to this meatloaf I'm about to eat.
Hey,
meatloaf.
Ma,
Meatloaf.
the meatloaf.
I never know what she's doing back there.
My mom's meatloaf.
never
Does
know
everybody's moms make the best meatloaf, or is it me? Because that's the
My
only
mom never
meatloaf I've
made
ever
meatloaf.
liked. No, it's the only
Yeah.
meatloaf I've ever liked or probably had for the most part in my life, and it's
Yeah.
my mom's. And I thought that was like only me, but obviously it's a thing.
Only me.
Whose meatloaf are you eating? Pause.
We got that Boston Market.
Boston Market. If you don't
Nah,
want to
Very
release
underrated
anything
Boston
personal,
Market, by the way.
yes,
No,
very
the
underrated.
lady I live with.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
I
Shout
like
out,
the
Laura.
I like the group chat. I like when the group chat talks about it. Like,
We're not
did
doing
you-
that. Them boys be wilding.
there you go, for sure. Mine is happy birthday, Drew. His birthday.
Oh yeah, my
is
dog.
today.
Why not 954?
Get his face. Get his face.
Oh,
There
say
he
something.
is.
Happy birthday, honey.
Hey.
The YouTube people.
If he saw me right now, he'd be like, Montana.
Oh boy, yeah, he's been having a birthday month, and it's only the 7th. Today's his actual birthday, and he's been celebrating ever since September 1st. So, my birthday's in a couple weeks, so I guess it gets overshadowed by him.
Let's go.
What else? Shout out to us actually. 1,000 views on YouTube. I thought that was a pretty cool thing to
Yes.
talk about, and I think we talked about it. Me and Ford, maybe when Gravy left, I mentioned it real quick at the end, but congratulate to you guys. Obviously,
Congratulations.
getting 1,000, not
I
1,000
finally
people,
clicked the
but
page 1,000 times.
yeah,
Working hard.
1,000 clicks to sit through, whether it was a minute or an hour of us talking shit and acting stupid. I thought that was pretty cool. So shout out to you guys.
Shout out to all the eyeballs that looked at us.
Love it.
And shout out the people that just clicked it and let it run for an hour and 24 minutes.
Right.
Same value.
Yeah.
I'm tired of
Hey,
going to public libraries
win-
and putting this
a
YouTube
win's a
channel
win.
on.
A win's a win.
A win's a win. There you go.
Ben set up a bot clicking on YouTube plays for
Yep.
4 hours a day.
A win's a win. You know.
All right, boys. Episode 31. Hopefully we can continue us
Priest Holmes.
us
episode.
four being here every single week. Obviously, Ben's got a lot going on his plate. He's on paternity leave till December.
Yep.
So
And
he's got a lot of time, but not really. Yeah, at the same
Not
time.
really.
I mean, I got
Yeah,
time.
no
You
time.
just, yeah, she's in. I got her in somewhat of a routine now. Although I hear her crying at the moment. So.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
that's a cue right there. We'll end the
Yeah.
episode on that.
Well, it means one or two things. Or one of three things. She either shit her pants, she's hungry, or she's tired. So
One of the
you
three.
just got to rule it out.
I feel
Like
like
you saw
that's.
Andy
all
Dalton
three.
at practice today.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Bree tells me when I'm like not well or upset at the
Yeah.
day. Is
You
usually
shit
those
your
three.
pants?
Hey,
It's
before
one
we
of
go,
those.
I almost did
start-
today when I was riding my bike. I had to come home real quick, and I almost made the decision to do it outside and jump in the pool. I swear to God.
Yeah.
would have had E. coli in your pool.
Yeah,
Hey
31
Ben,
years
over
old.
under games for Justin Fields starting.
13 and a half. I'd take over.
Take though. Oh, like amount of his games playing or what week? I should have
Oh,
worded that
what
better.
week does he start? I think
Yeah, I
week
should have.
3.
Week 3? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Week 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Go Giants. Go Blue.
Yes, sir.
Go Bears.
Fins up.
Fins up.
Episode 31. Peace.
Fins up.
Peace.
Peace.